What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Geek Burrito. We are back. I am the great talent.
Hey everyone, I'm Jay Riven.
All right. And as you can see, we are fully Batmaned out. We are fully wearing our Batman shirt. Well, I'm kind of trying to, my chair isn't cooperating with me. So, excuse me. I'm wearing he's wearing the vintage, Jay Revin's wearing his vintage Batman shirt. I'm wearing the more modernized, it means justice Batman shirt. I'm vengeance. So we are vengeance. We are the night. We're going to mainly focus this podcast on the Batman. But before we get into it, I just want to thank everybody. We want to thank everybody for stopping by and listening or watching this, whether it be on YouTube or Spotify, Apple, whatever your choice of podcast listening or viewing is. And yeah, before we get into it, we want to talk about a few other things before we jump into the Batman. Isn't that right, Jay?
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about since the last time we talked. There's a lot.
Yeah, no. Honestly, though, yeah, I mean, there's a few. We're going to talk about a little bit of gaming. This week, I mean, from last time, I mean, well, actually, I think, Jay, you beat Halo Infinite, right? So you actually finally finished that, didn't you?
Yeah, when it comes to gaming, not much going on. Just recently beat Halo Infinite. Took me like, I don't know, like 2 months to finally get through that game.
Nice. Took your time with it. It was a slow burn, huh?
Slow burn.
Yeah.
Fun game, great game. Probably one of the best Halo games I've ever played.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
Campaign
Absolutely.
was awesome. I wish I had more time. I would love to like just kind of dive into the whole multiplayer world because it looks like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know. Time is unfortunately not on our side in that aspect. Never on our side when we got work and life shit to deal with. But yeah, no,
if I had to choose a multiplayer online to play first-person shooter, it would definitely be Halo Infinite over any Call of Duty that's out there, without question.
Yeah, no, I grew up on Halo 2, man. I Halo 2, literally Halo 2 and Halo 2 2. Yeah, I loved Halo, man, growing up, and it has a special place in my heart. So I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's great. What else am I playing? I'm playing Pokemon Arceus.
Yeah.
Moving along a little bit there.
Nice. Yeah, I hope to get to that soon myself, but yeah, I'm playing one other thing in front of it, but yeah.
And I just recently started playing that Horizon Forbidden West.
I'm jealous, man. I have it. It's sitting. I'm looking at it right now on my mantle, but I have after I finish up the game I'm playing now on PlayStation, I'm going to switch over and play the Guardians game, Guardians of the Galaxy on Xbox, and then I'm gonna go right into Horizon. So
nice.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's I never got to play the first Horizon, so it's kind of like I'm trying to like figure it out a little bit, but it's interesting,
Yeah.
Kind of like it's like a mixture of like Avatar with like Transformers. I don't know. It's like
it's wild. It's like the robots are like dinosaurs, and what happened is it's like a futuristic, prehistoric world, if you can believe it. It's like there's dinosaurs, but they're robots. So the humans created the machines, kind of like Terminator, and they kind of just took over everything in a sense. But
interesting.
Anyway, yeah, no, I've been playing. I just finished beating Kena Bridge of Spirits, and that game, you should actually check that out. I think you would really like that game. It's like Legend of Zelda meets like Pikmin, and it's kind of very spiritual and very, very. It's like a Pixar movie. It's like playing a Pixar movie.
Yeah, really I've been meaning to get. I have it. I just, again, time.
Yeah, I think that's the truth. But anyway, with that being said, yeah, that's pretty much it on the gaming aspect. Not too much. There's been a lot because we've been busy seeing movies, folks. It's the movies are starting to ramp up again. Before we get into the big ones, Jay actually watched something on Netflix that I actually still have it in my list to watch, but I haven't got around to it yet. And what was that movie, Jay, that you watched? Was it Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Is that right? Is that the one? The remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, requel, whatever it is.
It's a sequel. It's kind of like they kind of took a page out of the Halloween book. Kind of like how the Halloween movies, like it kind of like it takes place right after the original Halloween, kind of like bypasses any other Halloween movie that ever existed. So it's like Halloween 1, and then it goes into the new Halloween, and Halloween Kills, and then this new one that's coming out this year. So
that's awesome.
This Texas Chainsaw movie is a direct sequel to the original Texas Chainsaw movie. I got to be honest with you, the story, the plot is retarded. it's retarded, but the movie is so entertaining. It's such an entertaining fucking movie. Like, you know, it was an hour and 20-minute movie, and it was perfect. It was
really? It just got you in, got you off, got you out, huh? Really fast.
It was a 1 hour, 20-minute movie. You just watch it, and it just doesn't even try to explain anything. Which is great. I mean, it was still whatever little things it did explain, it was pretty dumb, but for the most part, you get right to the meat and potato of it. You just get Leatherface, and it's just him on this like killing rampage from beginning to end, and it was perfect, dude. It was perfect.
No,
I mean, some things didn't make sense, but whatever. The kills were fun to watch.
That's awesome, man. No, I got it in my list. I gotta watch it. I got it in my queue. I don't know what I'm waiting for. You know what it is, man? I'm trying to kill these TV shows I have in my queue. Like I'm up to I'm watching I'm gonna watch Peacemaker next, and then I'm gonna watch that Hannibal show you recommended. I want to check that out because I want to watch. Now, do you recommend I watch that Hannibal show? Is that a prequel to like before the movies, like before Red Dragon, before Sounds of the Lambs? That's a prequel, right?
It's a prequel.
Is it?
Prequel.
So I'll watch that first, and because I already seen I've seen Sounds of the Lambs a million times. I've only seen Hannibal like once, and I've never seen Red Dragon. So I will kind of watch it.
Red Dragon was a weird movie.
It's a weird movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it.
I will definitely look into that. Like I said, I got it in my queue. Like I'm just trying to kill some of these shows. Carving them up a little bit, but as a matter of fact, it makes more sense to just watch the movies first. So you know what? I think before I even start Peacemaker, I'm going to check out Texas because that's only you said 80 minutes, 85 minutes, something like that. So
yeah, it's like I said, it's an hour and 20 minutes, no more than that.
Yeah.
It is what it is, you
know. Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, folks, yeah. Now we're getting into the big guns. So last big movie we saw before the big one. We saw two big-ish movies. Well, one definitely big one. Uncharted, okay? We watched the Uncharted movie starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. It was a few weeks ago. And I honestly, the critics bashed the shit out of it. There was a little bit of issues I had with it, but not that much to like say it wasn't a great movie. Honestly, I thought the casting was a little bit jaded. Yes, they should have casted. I love Tom Holland, but they should have given a little bit of an older version of Nathan Drake, and I think they should have given a little bit older version of Sully. But other than that, their chemistry was great. I thought it was a fun action adventure movie. They had like the music from the video game. I thought it was great. What about you, Jay?
I loved it, man. I mean,
yeah.
I listening or reading the critics' reviews of it, it just seems like if you didn't play any of the Uncharted games, you're just not gonna really like the movie. I'm actually fine with the casting, man. Like, I'm fine with the casting. I think from what I've seen, it's been a success for the most part. I think it's made its money. If they turn this into like some kind of big franchise, movie franchise where they pump out like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 movies of these, and you could see like, Tom Holland kind of like grow as he's growing up, into going into his 30s and then maybe into his 40s, and then he's like getting like the beard, and he's like, I think he'll easily fit that role of like what Nathan Drake is in the video games. And same with Mark Wahlberg, you just give him the salt, pepper hair as he's getting older, it could easily go into like how we see it in the video games, you know what I mean? So it's like what this movie feels like, it's like a prequel. It feels like a true prequel to like the original Uncharted.
It absolutely does. And if anybody out there has played Uncharted 3, Uncharted 3, the third game in the franchise, is actually in the beginning it has a younger Sully. He had like brown hair. He wasn't like Silver Fox or anything. He just had brown hair, and it was a very young Nathan Drake. But the movie didn't take only the first, I think, act, right? The first couple of acts was in the past, first chapters. But that's what they're basing this whole movie on, because I really think, to Jay's point, they want this to be a motherfucking franchise. They want this to be like 10, 15 years and then have him end when he's like in his 40s and then say, all right. But I understand like why there's backlash, because people want Nathan Drake. They want him now. They want him as they know him in the first game. relax, folks. We'll get there. Just take it easy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think if it pans out, you'll look back at it and you'll be like, wow, this was brilliant. You know, because
yeah.
Because sometimes movies are made and then later on they do prequels. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're not going to need that. You know, they started with the prequel. You know, and now it's just kind of like let it grow from here. Like it's like they planted the seed.
I think they're just getting it all out of the way. Like, you remember in Deadpool, man, back the first Deadpool movie, they kind of got the way they did Deadpool's origin story was brilliant because they did it in between as the movie was playing out. So they did it like in like the movie let it play, then he had a thought, and then they did like a little flashback for like a minute, and then they came back to the present. I thought that was awesome. That was a great way to do an origin story, like patch, like and that was awesome. And they kind of sort of did that. They're kind of doing that here, sort of, but it's more of a slower like burn, slower reach. But other than that, yeah, I love the movie. I mean, I was trying to be unbiased and said, I gave it I think I gave it an 8 out of 10 if I remember correctly. I thought it was great. I thought it was fine. I mean, yeah, it comes here or there. It wasn't perfect, but it was enjoyable. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, I would. For me, it was probably the best video game adaptation going from video game to movie I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think I'm with you. Before this, and I know you probably would disagree with me. Before this movie, I thought honestly, Mortal Kombat did a really great job to translate that. I know you thought that movie was ridiculous. I love that movie. I'm sorry. I love that movie.
I respectfully disagree with you, but.
I thought it was awesome. I mean, it didn't have the tournament, but it was a start, But yeah,
there's definitely gonna be some things we like and we don't like, and it's perfectly okay.
That's what makes us so great, I guess. That makes it human. Anyway, so now, folks, we're gonna get into vengeance. We are the Knight, and we are Batman. So, the Batman. We're going to have a little fun, folks, here. So the rest of this podcast is going to be us breaking down the Batman, and then we are going to rank not only our top Batman movies, but before we do that, we're going to talk about our top Batmobiles in order, the Batman actors out of the Batsuit as Bruce Wayne, the top Batman actors in the Batsuit, who are the best, and then we're going to just do our top Batman movies of all time. So, Jay, I'll let you start it off. The Batman. What we saw? I mean, I know what you thought, but tell these fine folks what you thought. He needs a minute, folks. He needs a minute.
That movie special. If I had to simplify it to somebody who asked me like, what's the Batman like? Take L.A. Noire. If you ever played L.A. Noire, you take L.A. Noire. You take the movie Seven. Take a little bit of some of the elements from the Nolan trilogy, because it was very grounded. Try to be very realistic.
Right.
You take that, and then you pinch in a little bit of salt and pepper of the Tim Burton feel.
Yeah. Yep.
Along with some sprinkles of Adam West's Batman. And this is what you have. You have the Batman.
I will add in just a little bit of a taste of the Saw movies too, because I felt like a little bit of Saw in there somewhere, like with the whole Riddler thing. It's a tiny bit.
Yeah,
tiny bit.
I agree with that. I know it's very divisive. You have people saying one thing on this side of the fence, and you have other people saying this on the other side of the fence. I've never seen anything so divided. I mean, you can go at Metacritic and you can see not the critic score, but you look at the user score. I mean, that's all you need to. The vast majority of the people they love the movie.
Exactly.
I have very little issues of this movie, man. I wanted to see it again. Like, I wanted to go right back to see it, just so I can kind of play the role of dissecting it, because there was so much happening that all I could do was just sit back and just take it in, I wasn't like in that role to like start nitpicking things. But there's very little I can nitpick, and the things that I'm nitpicking is because there's not enough of it. So
I wholeheartedly agree.
Like that's the only things I can nitpick. Honestly, it's the greatest Batman movie I've ever seen. That's the truth. It is the best Batman movie overall. You'll never get a Batman movie. There isn't a Batman movie where the vast majority of the runtime is Batman. Like he is the focus
in the Batsuit.
In the Batsuit, like he is the focal point. Like he is the center point. Like like the title says, the Batman. That's what it is.
Unbelievable. Like I couldn't believe it. How much? I think the movie was 3 hours long, right? I think he was in that Batsuit for like over 2 hours. He had to be in that Batsuit for like
I would say 2 hours. I would say that's accurate. Yeah, I would say probably like 2 hours, maybe 2 and change. But yeah,
I think that's the most any Batman has ever wore the suit for. So
it's the most. It is the absolute most.
And it's a good thing he wore that suit too, because looking back in retrospect, man, I kind of see what people were saying about Robert Pattinson added the Batsuit, but I don't have a problem with it. But I can see why some people might have a problem with it, if that makes any sense.
I don't have a problem with it, because this is like taking right from the comics of year 1, year 2 of Batman. Yeah. So if that's the case, he's young. He's supposed to be young. He's supposed to be figuring his shit out. He's supposed to be
broken, Yeah, exactly. When he learns how to like stop wearing his emotions on his sleeve, then he can like be the billionaire playboy and put on the facade in the front. He didn't learn how to do that yet, because he's still trying to like fulfill his destiny and just follow his legacy and shit. He's got shit to figure out. To your point, absolutely.
I mean, if you're conflicted about this, then just look at Matt Reeves and what he did with that Planet of the Apes trilogy. He was able to like, when he did Rise of the Planet of the Apes, he really just planted seeds, man. He took a bunch of seeds and he just went like this. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was probably the weakest of the 3 movies. It was still a great movie, but it was the weakest because nothing really major happened, like significant. I mean, it did at the end, but throughout the course of the movie, it was just like, it was really focused on Caesar and like, like his character, development. It's the same thing here, man. Like he's really Matt Reeves is just throwing a bunch of seeds out into his world that he just created. And dude, I can't wait for the sequel, dude. I can't wait to see what he does in the sequel, man. And then the sequels to come, dude, because he is going to develop Robert Pattinson. He's going to mold him into that role of Bruce Wayne, and you're going to see him different. I bet you in the second Batman movie, Robert Pattinson will be a completely different Bruce Wayne than he was in this movie, and that's beautiful. And that's beautiful.
I think so too. I think really to that point, man. Maybe it was the director Matt Reeves's goal to think about this for a second. Maybe it was his goal to say, all right, I want you to act like a certain way, because in the next movie, I have a plan for you. Like, I know where we're going. You're going to have character evolution. You're going to have extreme character development. And then people, people are going to be looking back on this movie after the third one comes out. It's a trilogy, right? A new trilogy. And to that last movie, people are going to be looking back and going, wow, I see what he was trying to convey, what he was trying to accomplish. And I respect that. And we're not there yet. So, of course, there's going to be backlash. So, of course.
That's why I'm like, my only, I'm not concerned, but the Joker, like as much as
spoiler alert,
as much as a great surprise it was, my only problem is at this point now, dude, we've gotten like in the span of like, I don't know, 10 years, we've gotten like a lot of different Jokers, you know what I mean? And I kind of wish they would just kind of like solidify one Joker, you know what I mean? And you got Jared Leto, we got fucking what's his name, Joaquin Phoenix, the late Heath Ledger, a little over a decade ago.
The GOAT.
The GOAT, exactly. So there's just been a lot of different Joker versions. So it's always going to be like this, like comparison of different Jokers, And I just kind of wish at this point now they just kind of like solidify one now, you know what I mean? So that's what made this movie so great, was because the Riddler, he was so unique, and he was only competing against Jim Carrey. which he was kind of like a little clunky for my taste. I still liked him, but this Riddler was definitely it was like
yeah. It was night. It was like night and day.
It was night.
Jim Carrey was more like more like comedical. He was very overacting and shit, and kind of very in your face. Riddler was more. He kind of had a little bit of Joker vibes, but at the same time, he felt like he was his own. He developed his own persona, and I liked it. He was very creepy, very eerie, very haunting. When he just showed up in the fucking people's houses, in the shadows, I was like, oh shit. And then that one part where he had that guy on the camera and he was fucking with the rats and shit, I was like, damn, this is and he was like making those voices and shit. I was like, ooh, this guy is like a ghoul, fucking ghoulish,
Yeah. No, it was so good, man.
Oh, it was amazing. I thought, and people were complaining about the length of the movie. I don't know about you, man. When that shit wrapped up, I thought it was gonna roll into another episode or something. I'm like, are we done? Well, how are we done already? What the? We're just getting started, baby. What are you talking about? People are like, oh, it feels like 5 hours. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? No, it doesn't. You're 5 hours.
Honestly, I knew this movie was special from the opening scene, dude. That opening scene where it's him in the dark alleyway and you just hear the music, the fucking great score that fucking Michael Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino, that man is a genius.
He should get an Oscar for that score,
easily. I mean, you made the score sound like the Imperial March from Star Wars. It's half of it. I mean, shit. Yeah. That's why it's so addictive and catchy. It's it sounds dark and gritty.
That opening scene where he's walking down the alleyway, you don't see him, but you just hear his footsteps.
You hear the boots.
You hear the boots.
You hear the boots.
And then you finally see him, and then he's like, "I'm vengeance." And I was like, man, dude. I knew, right there and then, it was like love at first sight, dude.
It really was, man. It's like how some people out there, folks, how sometimes you have to actually try and convince yourself if you're enjoying the movie or not. At that point, I don't care what you say, you're not enjoying the movie. If you have to say, "Am I enjoying this?" You're not there. To Jay's point, when a motherfucker just walks out on the screen, doesn't even have to say anything but one line. You are enamored. You're it's love at first sight. It really is. There's nothing more to it. That's it. That's really it.
And they use practical effects too. The practical effects were so good, man. In some of the fight scenes, the lighting, how that scene where he's getting bullets, fucking hit him at him, and then you just see the lights flicker. All of his practical effects, dude. It's nothing special. It's nothing there's no CG. They're just using tricks with lights and cameras and
it was trick photography and it was great.
And it
beautiful
was great.
Trick photography.
It was so perfect.
No, it was awesome, and it's fucking everything about this movie was just, and the fighting in the scenes. I think this is the best fighting we ever got. The choreography, it was so good, such great fighting, great hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
it was like Batman Arkham series. It was like the Batman Arkham video games. If anybody's ever played that, I saw a comment on one of the videos that said, one of the reviews that said, "I'm mad that I didn't get to see Batman collect all 600 Riddler trophies." I was like, I understood that.
It reminded me of that too. It reminded me of the Arkham City with the Riddler trophies all around.
Trophies, yeah, you got to figure that shit out.
And then at the end of the movie, man, where Riddler's in Arkham Asylum and he's fucking talking to Joker, it's okay, what are they gonna go with for the next movie? They're gonna go where the Joker fucking, what happens in Arkham where he fucking, busts open the Arkham Asylum and frees everyone out, and then fucking, then he eventually fucking, what happened again? He fucking interjected his blood into fucking Batman, and he started fucking seeing Joker in his dreams all the time, and all that crazy shit.
What happened was, I think, it was some type of it was some type of dream sequence. It was something weird. I really couldn't put my finger on it, but it was interesting is what it was. It's really, I don't know. That's one of the things I couldn't understand. But that's why we got to rewatch it, right? So we got to fucking rewatch it. Got to rewatch those movies constantly. But yeah, no, I think that but I really think, and also too, the Penguin. I don't know about you, man, but I didn't recognize Colin Farrell. I did not know it was him. Unless I saw the credits, I did not fucking know it was him at all. No idea.
That was probably one of the few things I had to nitpick on. Was I don't think we got enough of the Penguin. I don't think there was enough of him, and I think what we did get of him, it was awesome. Like he was good, man. He was really good. He was a really good Penguin. I don't want to say he was better than Danny DeVito. I'm not going to say that. Danny DeVito is special in his own way. But I did like this Penguin though. It kind of like it like carved his own niche. That's how I'll put it.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. I think that each villain in the Rogues Gallery carved up their own spot in the Batverse, in the Batman universe. Riddler made his mark. Jim Carrey had his own unique way of portraying the Riddler. Paul Dano had his way of portraying the Riddler. The Penguin. Now, okay, Tim Burton is a fucking genius. We all know that. He's a visionary. He's weird. He's quirky. He's that's what makes him great. And when Danny DeVito was perfect because he was like short. He was stumpy. He was like, let's just make this motherfucker a penguin mutant, like a mutated penguin. We're gonna make him have flippers and shit. And he did great. It was great to see him like that. I was like, he really took this penguin shit literally. But this version of the Penguin was straight extracted right from the comic books. He was Carmine Falcone's right-hand man. He was the proprietor of the Iceberg Lounge, which was actually in the Arkham video games too, right? The Iceberg Lounge.
Yep.
The only thing that was missing too was him smoking that cigar with the top hat. But I mean, that they wouldn't allow smoking in the movie. I was reading up on them, and they said they didn't want anybody smoking in the movie. I mean, I guess that's fine. But they let people drop. They let them drop an F-bomb one time, but they couldn't let see some fucking gangster smoking a cigar. But it was great though, man. It was great. And then also can't forget about Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz, right? She did a fantastic job, dude.
She did a great job in the moments that
I'm
she was
sorry, I
there.
love Michelle Pfeiffer, but she's my new favorite Catwoman. She and again, I don't think they didn't she was in the movie a lot, but I feel like she could have got more like action scenes. I don't know.
Yes, I feel
a little bit, just a little bit more.
I feel like she was great. I just feel like we didn't get enough of her as Catwoman. If that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted to see her more like, I don't know, dude, the fucking whip, the lasso, fucking just like a little bit more Catwoman action because
just a tiny bit goes a long way.
She was kind of blended more on the Selena Kyle side,
right.
So, but the moments that we did get of her, I mean, the chemistry she had with Robert Pattinson was really good. That I'll say, like they had a good chemistry. It was very convincing. They didn't come off as
no. It was like very organic, and honestly, I mean, dare I say this, and I might be eating these words, or people might be making me eat them, but I loved Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer's chemistry. I thought they had great chemistry, especially toward the end of the movie. But Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson, when they were like in their outfits, right, in their personas, and she was in the cat burglar outfit, he was in the bat suit. They felt like there was just some type of like tension between them, and it was just fucking great, man. It was just so great to watch unfold. And there was the witty sarcasm of the Catwoman mixed with his fucking seriousness and his dry fucking tone. I thought it was awesome. It was fucking great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, the only things I could pick on in the movie: not enough Catwoman, not enough Penguin, not enough Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred, he got the short end of the stick. He got kind of sidelined halfway through the movie, or a little bit about halfway through the movie. But next time we want more Alfred. People are saying that they're mad that Alfred is so young, and Andy Serkis is only in his early 50s. They want Alfred to be older, like in the 60s, 70s. But again, to this movie's point, it's the Batman in his beginning stages. Like, all right, I know Nolan did Batman Begins, right? But when Batman began in his Nolan trilogy, Batman was already in his mid-30s, and fucking Alfred was already in his like early 70s. So I'm like, okay, how was he really beginning? You know what I mean? You're beginning at the end? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. Gotta be a slow burn. Gotta be a slow fucking burn. Trust me, it goes a long way, folks.
Yeah, no, not enough Alfred, and there's one more thing I can nitpick, and I don't think it's like that big of a deal, but for me, I don't know about you, dude. I wasn't crazy about the way how Batman flies in this movie, dude. Like that whole wingsuit thing, man.
Honestly, man, I didn't, like I said, I didn't like it, but I appreciated it. I respected why they did it. They wanted to make him feel more grounded. Again, this is in the beginning. He didn't figure his whole fucking outfit out yet. Now look at his outfit. His cape isn't really even a cape. It's like, it's not even a full blown cape. It's like just kind of like a fucking like cloth in the back. He's wearing combat boots. Like he's still trying to figure his outfit out. He has like, the only thing he really figured out was that Kevlar, like to fucking block the bullets. Mm-hmm. I think the next movie, dude, we're gonna get that full fucking wingsuit. We're gonna get that fucking gliding like you saw in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, dude, like that to me is where it's at, dude. Like I wasn't crazy about that wingsuit thing. Like it's a little too real. It's like, and this is the issue I had with the Nolan verse, dude. Like I know that like it's almost like when they were making these movies, they were like they sat down, they said, okay, if Batman was real, this is what it would be like.
Right.
You know what? I don't need that motherfucker to be real. This motherfucker, it lives in a fucking fantasy world. First off, that shit wouldn't even be real. That shit wouldn't even happen. So let's just try to like, you know, let's just.
I mean, make him be grounded, but at the same time, have a little bit of touch of fantasy. Like Tim Burton had fun with it. Mm-hmm. You know, even Chris Nolan had fun with it. I mean, hell, fucking even Joel Schumacher had too much fun with it.
Yeah, I don't need like a what would a real life Batman be? I don't need that shit, dude. No. Like. That's not needed, dude. Like, so I feel like Nolan. People say that this was more grounded than Nolan. I still think Nolan was more grounded in this movie. I don't know how you feel, but
I mean, yes, in certain aspects, yeah, he had more. But then again, I think honestly, they both were just as much grounded as each other's movies, and they had a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Nolan had a little bit of touch of fantasy in there, but
you know why? You know what? They are both grounded in a sense, but you know what's the difference between the two? It's the way it's shot, the way they filmed it. Like Nolan, if you look at all of Nolan's movies, they kind of like all look the same. I don't know if you realize it. Like if you see,
the city shots,
like the way
the spin outs, like
if you look at Inception, the trilogy, the Batman trilogies, the way he filmed Interstellar, the way he filmed a lot of those movies, dude, they kind of like he shoots them all the kind of the same way.
Yeah, you're right. So I mean, in that sense, the cinematography could make him his movies feel more grounded. The Batman, like the way it's shot, like it feels more, the way it's shot, the way the city looks, it feels like a real life comic book version of Gotham City. And it honestly feels to me more of like a Tim Burton feel than a Nolan feel, because Nolan would be like up in the fucking skylight, shooting it from the helicopters and shit.
Yeah.
This was more shot from the ground looking up.
Yeah, like when you see how Gotham looks in the Nolan verse, it looks like he filmed Chicago. He's just like, okay, this is Chicago and this is Gotham.
Right.
When you see the Batman, it looks like New York City, but Matt Reeves took New York City and then he just kind of like redecorated it a little bit.
Right.
You know.
No, it's. And that's what makes it special. I mean, like Matt Reeves really respected the source material. He was like, I'm gonna like make this like not only a touch of a comic book, but I'm also going to make it feel and respect like an homage to both Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan if I can. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna have the best. We're gonna have our cake and we're gonna fuck it too. So that's exactly what he said we're gonna do, and he did. But yeah, no, again, fantastic movie. And I thought it was great all around. In my YouTube video, I gave it a 10. I was very like trying not to hold back. I was like, look, I was trying to find things wrong with it, but at the same time, I was so gushing at the time. Yeah, like would I change my score even though I'm nitpicking? No, because we nitpick. But you know what? Overall, if we're talking complete package, it's a 10. It's just like, to me, it's on the same level as The Dark Knight. So it's just like, it's like right there. It's maybe a tiny, we'll get to that in a little bit, but to me, it's like, they're like neck and neck. They're like right there. But again, we'll talk about why, what separates the Batman from the Dark Knight. I mean, it's one entity, and we'll get to that when we get to our rankings in a minute. And I think we're pretty much ready to start ranking, unless you want to talk more about the movie. I'll leave it up to you.
No, I think we covered pretty much everything about the movie.
I think that's it. I mean, go see it, folks, if you haven't already. It's still in theaters. It's going to be on HBO Max April 19th, I think. Is that the day, or April 5th?
April 19th is going to be on HBO Max. But go see it in IMAX. It's so worth it.
Yeah, you have to, really, folks. You really need to. It's a journey. It's really a journey.
It's so worth it. Just don't go see it at 11 o'clock at night.
No. I mean, then you're gonna be like us. We needed a cup of coffee each, some popcorn to kill, and a big fucking bottle of water, and drinks, and it was just. Honestly, though, folks, I was awake. This is like, to me, seeing the Batman is an equivalent to seeing like fucking Star Wars, a good Star Wars movie, or like Avengers or Spider-Man or any of those big name movies. But yeah, with that being said. We're going to start from the bottom, work our way up. So we're going to rank, my ranking is probably, I wrote down my ranking, but my ranking might be different than yours, Jay, but ranking the Batmobiles. I mean, you want to go first, or you want me to read off mine, and then you want to kind of switch my order around? How do you want to go?
Batmobiles, I could tell you off the top of my head, man. Ahead. Last place is going to be... man, I'm going to say fucking... You know what, man? You might be shocked at what I'm about to say, man.
Uh-oh.
The Nolan Batmobile.
Yeah, I'm not shocked, dude, because I was gonna put that in my last place, but I gave it to. Last place for me. It's Joel Schumacher's Batmobile, but it was close. Nolan's was close, man. It was a tank. It's not a Batmobile. It's a fucking tank.
It's a tank, dude. It's just a tank. So I never liked it, dude. That's one of the things I never liked with the Nolan group. I never liked the Batmobile, dude. It was just like this big, oversized tank, and it's just like The only time I ever liked it was when it like turned into like that motorcycle. But
the Batcycle, yeah.
Yeah, the
Batcycle was cool, but that was awesome with the guns on it and shit, and the wires and the grapples. That was awesome. But the tank, the only part I liked about it was when he was like jumping off the rooftops. I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. But again, that's not.
So I have that last, and then after that I have the Joel Schumacher Batmobile. After that I have Val Kilmer.
Okay.
Val Kilmer Batmobile, which is that's still Joel Schumacher.
I think it's the same as Joel Schumacher. Yeah, that's why I put them.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Tim Burton one. It's the same Batmobile, so I left that in a rank.
Okay. So then I have that. Third is going to be the Ben Affleck one.
Okay.
Second is going to be what we just saw.
Okay.
And then first for me is still fucking the Tim Burton one, man.
Yeah, I feel you, man. My ranking's a little bit different than yours, but our top number one is still the same. So for me, it's going to be in last place the Joel Schumacher Batmobile. It looked like a fucking weird shark fin thing with like blue neon lights. Wasn't feeling it. Chris Nolan's, of course, the tank. We discussed why we didn't really care for it. Zack Snyder to me is number 4. I liked how it looked like a fucking like combat car, like a fucking whatever. I thought it was cool, but it had a little bit of. I could have done better. I put the Adam West in there as number 3 because the Adam West one reminded me of the Matt Reeves Batmobile, and that's why it's number 2 for me. They were neck and neck. And of course, number 1, you can't beat Tim Burton's iconic. I don't care what you try and do. You're never going to beat that iconic Batmobile. You're not. You could try. You're going to die trying.
That was the perfect Batmobile.
It really was. It really was. So that's our rankings of the Batmobiles ranked, folks. Moving along, we're going to talk about ranking our Batman actors ranked as Bruce Wayne, not outside of the Batsuit. So we're not talking in the Batsuit, we're talking outside of the Batsuit. So this is as Bruce Wayne, the persona of Bruce Wayne. So what would your rankings be? There's 7, I believe. Yeah, you don't have to include Adam West. I'm including Adam West. I'm doing all of them, so you don't have to include Adam West in yours. I'm doing it in mine.
All right, so I'm not gonna include Adam West. Because I feel like Adam West he's his own thing. I don't know, that's like from that golden age of comic books kind of thing. George Clooney's last.
Okay, of course.
Clooney last. I'm gonna say Val Kilmer after Clooney.
Okay.
Then I would put this gets tricky, man, because I thought very highly of Robert Pattinson, but I need to see Robert Pattinson in different phases as Bruce Wayne. If that makes sense. You know, like I feel like he will be there, but I feel like we only got like one version of him. You know.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, dude. I really did. I did not dislike him, but I'm gonna put him third.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Pattinson second, and then I'm gonna put Keaton first.
Absolutely, man. I am again. We got our number one spot again, but I will start off again. Our number one and number 7 or 6 or whatever are the same. Being at George Clooney, of course. As everybody knows, it is a common fact that George Clooney is the worst Batman. Bruce Wayne by default. Adam West, I put him as number 6, just to put him in there because I don't really remember what he was because I haven't seen that movie in a million years. But he's definitely better than George Clooney. I put Robert Pattinson as number 5. Again, needs a little work, I'm sure we will get it. I put Ben Affleck as number 4. I wasn't feeling him as Bruce Wayne as much as you, but I did feel him more as Batman. I liked how he sounded badass in the fucking bat suit. Number 3, Val Kilmer. Actually,
you know what? I think I forgot Christian Bale.
My number 1 is actually different than yours, because I put Michael Keaton as number 2 as Bruce Wayne. But I put Christian Bale as number 1 because I thought Christian Bale, believe it or not, folks, he wasn't the best Batman in the suit for me, but outside the suit he was because he sold that fucking billionaire role like a fucking champion. So that's all I'm saying. Michael Keaton did it okay. He did a good, solid job, but Christian Bale he put on that when he wanted to turn it on and off, he could turn it on and off.
You know what? I take it back, folks. 1 Bale, 2 Keaton, 3 Affleck,
okay.
4 Pattinson, then 5 Kilmer, 6 I'll give it to Adam West, and then 7 Clooney. That's it. I don't know why I missed that, but yeah, I was thinking differently, but yeah, if we're talking like just as Bruce Wayne without the suit, just as like who acted the best, yeah, Christian Bale. Christian Bale was awesome. I didn't like him when he was in the suit, but yeah, when he was outside the suit, he was great.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. So next we're gonna do ranking the Batman in the Batman suit. So going first now, this is in the Batman suit, folks, in the Bat suit. So there, I'm not, again, I'm including Adam West. You don't have to. I'll let you take it away. Rank your Batman in the Bat suit.
In the Bat suit.
In the Bat suit.
Clooney last.
Of course.
Yeah, Clooney last. I'm gonna put Kilmer after. Then I'm gonna put. This gets tricky.
Yeah.
In the Bat suit.
In the Bat suit. 3 seconds. No.
All right. Let me do it from first to worst. First. You know what?
You're not gonna win the $1 million.
You know what? This is gonna come off strange, but you know what? I'm gonna put Ben Affleck as first, man. I'm gonna put Ben Affleck.
Really?
Yeah. to be honest with you, of all the bat suits, I think that was like the dopest one, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I respect that, man.
I
really do, and I'm kind of mad that I kind of, you know what? Oh, that's interesting.
You know, like we're talking.
Yeah, well, he's definitely in my top 3 though. I'm not going to change my order, but I'll respect that's he did. You remember that movie, The Dark Knight Returns, with the animated movie?
Mm-hmm.
That was an awesome batsuit. That's what he was modeled after.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ben Affleck batsuit. That's number 1.
All right.
Number 2. This is where it gets tricky, but I'm gonna say Keaton. Keaton suit number 2.
Okay.
Number 3, I'll go with Christian Bale.
Right.
Or I'll go Pattinson. And then 5, I'll go Kilmer. And then 6, Clooney.
All right. I like that order, man. I like it. I respect that. That's a cool order, man. I'm gonna actually go a little bit differently. I kind of want to change my order, but I'm not going to because that's how I wrote it down in my fucking headspace. So in the Batsuit, Batman actors ranked number 7, of course, George Clooney fucking gets the short end of the stick just because reasons. Adam West number 6, Val Kilmer in the Batsuit for number 5, Christian Bale for number 4, Ben Affleck I put as number 3. To my top 3 though, Robert Pattinson number 2, and Michael Keaton as number 1. So in the Batsuit. Still Michael Keaton.
And see,
can't take that away from him.
What's interesting is we're giving these orders of different things, and you notice Robert Pattinson or anything that's to do with the Batman, we're not even ranking him number 1, but we still thought the movie was fucking the best Batman movie of all time.
Oh,
so I don't know if that doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
If that doesn't tell you anything, because it's not about. It's really about the movie. It's really about.
It's as a whole, folks.
It's
as a fucking whole.
It's as a whole. So right there, Batmobile and Batsuit, we don't even have it ranked number 1 from that movie, but we still thought that fucking movie was the best Batman movie of all time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, folks, a perfect segue into now we're going to get into the creme de la creme, the final act of this podcast, ranking the Batman movies, all of them. I mean, I'm doing, what am I doing? Hold on. So I'm going to rank all the Batman movies. I'm not including, I don't know why I didn't include, you know what? I'm just going to toss it in there. I didn't include Adam West, but you know what? I did include Adam West, the actor, but not the movie. I don't know why I should have included the movie, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'll throw it in here. So, I'll let you go first, Jay. You can rank your Batman movies. You don't have to include Batman 1966. I'm going to, since I fucking did it for the other ones, even though I didn't include it in my list, the Batman movie. So go ahead, take it away, sir. Your Batman movies ranked.
Batman and Robin's last. Batman Forever. So Batman and Robin 7th. Batman. This is where it gets tricky too, man. Okay.
Yeah.
It gets tricky.
It's like you're like thinking about like it's really fucking hard. I know. It took me a long time to fucking rank these.
It's hard. I got to go the other order. I'll go from first to last. Greatest Batman movie of all time. The Batman. The Batman number 1. I wish I could do like a 1A, 1B because that's how I see. Yeah. So the Batman number 1, The Dark Knight number 2.
Okay.
Batman Returns number 3. Batman Begins number 4. Batman 1989 5.
Interesting. Okay.
Batman Forever 6. Batman vs Superman 7. And then Batman and Robin 8. That's my order.
Okay. All right.
Wait. Oh,
all right, you did it.
I forgot the Dark Knight.
Oh shit, he's got to go back. He's got to go back.
I forgot the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I was like, where are you putting that one?
Okay, let me redo it.
You only get your last chance.
The Batman
no more do-overs.
The Batman #1. The Dark Knight #2. Batman Returns #3. Batman Begins #4. Batman '89 #5. The Dark Knight Rises #6. Yep. Batman Forever #7. Batman vs Superman #8.
This is amazing.
And then #9, Batman and Robin.
Our last 5 movies are exactly identical, I believe. So I'm going to get into mine now. I'm going to go 9-1. So I'm going to do 9-1. So Batman 1966, I'm not going to include folks. I didn't plan on it. I apologize, even though I did Adam West for the other ones. I know I kind of fucked up there. My bad. Everybody gets 1. So yeah, #9, I'm going to put Batman and Robin, naturally. #8, Batman vs Superman. 7, Batman Forever. 6, The Dark Knight Rises. 5, Batman Begins. 4, now this is where it gets tricky. This is where it's tricky for me. #4, Batman 1989. #3, Batman Returns. #2, The Dark Knight. #1, The Batman. So, and I never thought that anything would beat The Dark Knight as I live and breathe, but
our top 3 was the same.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The only thing that was different was 4 and 5, I think.
Yeah, that was it. We almost had the fucking identical list.
We almost had identical lists, yeah.
So yeah, as you can see, folks, we hold the Batman in such high regard. Now we want to talk about, before we wrap this podcast up, we want to talk about why the Batman supersedes the Dark Knight. And I think Jay brought a beautiful point up to me the other day. We were talking, and I'll let you elaborate. What makes the Dark Knight special is one kind of key element. And I'll let you say it, Jay, because you said it first, and I was like, wow, I completely agree with you. So
basically, people will say, like, okay, like, greatest Batman movie. You say The Dark Knight. Okay, so then I thought about it some more. You dissect that movie. Now, ask yourself this: who had the better performance, Christian Bale or Heath Ledger? Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Who was the better character, Batman or Joker? Joker. So really, like, that movie was great because of the Joker, not because of Batman. If you take,
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
If you extract the Joker, and the movie was just purely, I don't know, him facing Two-Face or whatever, or some other fucking villain. It's a good movie, but it's not like something that you're like, it becomes a memorable movie. What became memorable about The Dark Knight is the Joker.
Yeah.
And that was it, And for this movie, it was all about Batman. It was all about Batman, but you still got great performance. Like, Batman was the pedestal, but supporting that pedestal was the Riddler, was Carmine Falcone, was Penguin, as it should be. Because if it's a Batman movie, then Batman should be he should be bright and center. He should be the lead star.
No, I agree. And to that point, Jay, you extract Heath Ledger's Joker out of The Dark Knight, and you get a solid Batman flick. It's not going to nearly be as good as the Batman, because the Batman, Dark Knight, Batman, yeah, everything else was fine. It was just fine, Batman in The Dark Knight, I don't know about you, man. Do you notice that Christian Bale's voice as Batman drastically changed when he was in the suit from Batman Begins to The Dark Knight? He went from sounding like in the Batman Begins, he went from sounding like, yeah, you'll never have to, you could understand what he was saying. In The Dark Knight, he was like, you couldn't fucking understand him half the time. I'm like, what are you doing? Did you just suck down a fucking carton of Marlboros? Like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Shit.
I get it, man. It was two different characters. Like,
he took that shit seriously, a little too seriously,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Pattinson, and again, Pattinson was kind of like, he was not as ranked high as we thought. But one thing I would say is, like, he didn't come off as overacting. The reason why I don't put Pattinson as the best Batman is because I need to see more versions of him as Batman. That's all.
Yeah. Because
we just got him as, like, this young version,
Right.
I want to see him now more seasoned as Batman. you know, I want to see him now come into his own as that. Once I see a second movie of him, I'll probably say he's the best Batman.
He has the potential. He's definitely. I mean, honestly, folks, in the suit, he fucking wears the shit out of that suit. Like he fucking owns it, and it feels like that. He feels like he's just like an iteration, a complete, like an incarnation or reincarnation or whatever the fucking incarnation you want to say of like the Batman from the comic books. Like just that's it. And guess what, folks? I don't know if you've noticed this, but every single Batman, live action Batman that's been on screen has murdered someone in some way, shape, or form, whether it be inadvertently or right out fucking point blank. Every Batman, I can name every single one, whether it's with the Batmobile or with fucking just by letting them die or with a bomb strapped to them, throwing them down a fucking well. This Batman did not kill, not even come close to killing or inadvertently killing anyone. He was saving everyone. By fucking hanging up like Spider-Man. He was fucking grappling around, hanging them from fucking ceilings and shit, just having his like fucking like wrapping them up and shit, right? He wasn't killing anybody. He was fucking saving people. You know, even the bad guys. Even Penguin, when he fucking flipped him over in the car, he ripped him out of it. I'm like, yeah, that's Batman. That's fucking Batman.
Yeah.
A Batman. You know? But, yeah. I mean, I digress. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, folks. That's our rankings. I hope you enjoyed this little mellow, chill podcast. I hope you all see the movie. And please go see it. I want to see it again and again and again and again. I'm owning this shit on Steelbook. 4K Blu-ray, day one.
Same here.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Same here. I'm going to get it on Steelbook. And I just hope they explore this world now. I'm looking forward to all these like spin-off series.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to I wanted to go see it again in the movie theaters, but I'm gonna wait, man. I'm gonna wait for the HBO Max. I'm gonna wait because it's not that long. You know, it's not a long.
No,
wait.
It's not that long at all. I mean, it's only a month plus, and if you go see it in theaters, folks, they've jacked up the prices because they want to draw people back to theaters. So I think you're paying a $2 or $3. I think it's a $3 upcharge to see the Batman in AMC theaters. It's AMC theaters, right? They're doing this. It's a $3 upcharge. So if you go to see it at AMC theaters, just be warned, you will be paying a more premium price because they're assholes. But if it's an IMAX, oh my God, you're going to be blown to pieces. So,
yeah, I would say it's worth it. If you haven't seen it, pay the price, see it one time in IMAX, and then just wait for it to come out on HBO Max.
Absolutely. Positively, absolutely. But anyway, folks, with that being said, I think that'll do it for us this time. Unless you got any closing comments you want to add, Jay?
Other than that, just what's to come out in the March is kind of like, not much. March
is dry.
March
so we'll probably be back in April, right? Because April's a shit, son. It'd be like the mid to end of April. We'll be back in another month or so, folks. A few weeks maybe.
We'll start talking about Moon Knight. When Moon Knight releases, that's the end of this month.
Oh, Moon Knight, Halo, the Halo TV series. Definitely looking forward to that. One of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. We got that Moon Knight. April, we got Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Morbius.
We got Sonic the Hedgehog, Morbius. We got Northman.
The Northman. And I think that'll pretty much do it, right? Until the big one comes out in May, Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. And then we got the big one, Star Wars Obi-Wan. Oh, so happy. I'm so happy.
Actually, you know what? I think we'll come back and we'll do another podcast. I think we should just geek out, just kind of like talk about a lot of the rumors of what we're hearing about Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange, because it's kind of fun to theorize about those things because it's fun, man. It's fun. You're thinking about all the possibilities. I don't want to like overdo it because then you set the bar a little too high.
Right.
But fuck, we did it for Spider-Man, and it, our expectations were met
and exceeded in some aspects. But yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Jay. April will be the movies and Moon Knight and Halo and everything. But we'll come back toward the end of March and we will talk about the rumor mills for Obi-Wan and Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness. So look forward to that. And of course, we'll talk about any other bullshit about any other video games or movies and TV we're watching or playing at the time. Of new and old. So, with that being said, I have been the Great Talon.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Jay Revan here.
We'll catch y'all next time. Thanks as always for stopping by.